Good morning. Welcome in. Got that figured out. I'll get it faster next time. Oh, talking vascular with the vascular guy. Yeah, he dropped some good knowledge. If you don't follow the vascular guy, go check him out. Man, there's some stuff in there. And he admits, like, hey, I was a nurse for a long time before I knew this. So if you want to know more about IVs, that kind of thing, you should check out the vascular guy. Kenny, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Good morning. Volunteer Baltimore firefighter. I've been up to Anne Arundel when I was a firefighter and trained up there. We had New York and Boston firefighters come down and train us, and those guys are the real deal. It was incredible the amount of knowledge that they had. But we did the burn buildings in there, which is really cool. We had the I guess the trailer that is completely blacked out with the maze in it, and you had to get through there with all your gear on. Even having to take off your tank and like slide it up above you. Going to be a first-time dad too. Oh no, that's George Ramirez. Congratulations. I hope everything goes well. Got Ben McGovern in here. Question: my son won't sleep. What can I do? He got less than 2 hours of sleep. He's 4 years old. Sometimes they go through these phases where they don't sleep very good. But if you have concerns, I'd reach out to your pediatrician. If Dr. Tracy Tyson pops in here, give her a follow. Dr. Tracy Tyson in Vermont. She's a board certified pediatrician, does a lot of informational stuff on that. But I mean, our kids went through that where they were a little younger, but they would wake up in the middle of the night and just like wander around. Like they just wanted to get up and move around. Any advice on how to change diapers? No, I mean, I don't know. Diaper genie? I don't know. You just change them. I didn't really have any issues with that. Got a co-ed softball game tonight. Oh, I used to play co-ed softball. Do you know what eosinophilic esophagitis is? I have a vague understanding of it. It's not something we commonly see in the emergency department, but yes, I have a basic understanding of it. In terms of long-term treatment, though, I'm not as familiar with it. But let's see here. Got to move that out of the way. There's a let me see if I can find this website. FP Notebook, I think is what it is. Oh, I got to find it. There is a really good website. I think it's FP Notebook. There it is. Yeah, FP Notebook is a really good reference. It's free. It's kind of like a scaled down version of Up to Date. It's family practice notebook, but you can pretty much look up anything and it'll give you a basic understanding. It's like, here's the eosinophilic esophagitis. You can pull it up and it'll give you the like categories. It'll give you pathophysiology, which is, chronic inflammation of the esophagus, IgE immune mediated, give you symptoms in teens and adults, solid dysphagia, food impaction, central chest pain, refractory to antacids, refractory GERD, upper abdominal or epigastric pain, symptoms in younger children. It gives you associated conditions like allergic disorders, then gives you a diagnosis. How do we diagnose it? Differential diagnosis, things that it could also be, and then management. So it'll just talk about how you manage it. And it's really good. Like if you are in, in NP school or PA school, or even if you're just curious as a nurse, you're just curious. So I feel like whoa, blew that out, didn't I? What? There we go. That was pretty dark. All right, let me pop back over to the comments here. How do you know if you need stitches in the finger? You need to see a doctor, like in an urgent care or emergency department, so they can kind of evaluate it. If it's pretty deep, yeah, sometimes it'll need some stitches. Allie has a serious question I've been scared to ask. You can ask away. Oh my gosh, lots of questions in here while I was doodling around with FP Notebook. But FP Notebook's a really good resource. Why is my screen so dark? Well, it's only on TikTok though. Here, I'll boost it a little bit, see if that helps. My arms have been sore for a couple of days. Okay. If you did something to cause them to be sore, that is what's going to happen. Have you only been an ER nurse? No, I started my well, if you going back to healthcare, I became an EMT in 2003 and a firefighter. And then a nurse. I've been a nurse for 10 years and I started my nursing career in ICU. And I spent a year in like flight school to become a flight nurse. Kenny broke my pelvis 3 years ago, and this is my first game back. Well, have a good game. I hope it goes well. Remember, it's just co-ed softball. You don't need to like go all out. Just have fun with it. Enjoy it. Sky, tell me why and how. And I walked into my ER in January thinking I had an ear infection because you had probably pain on that side. And so you were thinking something easily treatable because, well, most people don't jump to like the worst things. I think ER nurses, ICU nurses, maybe we jump to the worst thing because we've seen the worst things. So, yeah. Just Jax, thanks for the daily heart me. I appreciate that. I'm getting caught up, so hang tight. If someone was dead on arrival, who would pick up? So it really depends. Holly, good morning. Thank you for the corgi. So it really depends. In most cases, and it depends on where you live and what your like county agreements are. Here, typically, a funeral, it depends. If it is an elderly person and there's no suspected foul play, then usually a funeral home will come and get the patient, well, in this case, the remains, and they will take them to the funeral home. If it is a suspicious circumstances, then a medical examiner of the coroner's office can come and collect the body and take it to their facility where they will perform an autopsy. Now, there are some cases where at the rescue squad, under certain conditions, we may end up transporting if there are no other resources available. But typically we don't, but we have and we will do that if necessary. So it really depends on the circumstances and what's going on. Because if it's an active crime scene, we're not trained to do that and we can't do that. And the police actually will be like, you can't touch. No, the police don't take it. It's usually like a medical examiner, coroner's office, if there's suspicious circumstances. Paniac, haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing all right. Merce Justin, welcome in. Thanks to Daily Heart Me. I appreciate that. I know the light. Sorry about the light. Got bright real quick. It just looks really dark here. It looks fine on my other because I'm like also simulcasting over here. So it looks fine there, but here on this one, it looks, I don't know, it looks different. Now on my previous screen, it looks fine. So I think it's just my phone. Like my phone might be dimmed pretty bad, but it looks good on the preview. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. What is a quick fix when someone has an anxiety attack? I don't know if there's a quick fix, but some things that you can do is find a quiet place, reduce the noise and the brightness, and everybody kind of has their own way to deal with that. But usually some like calming music. Hopefully you've worked with a therapist and there's some things like some breathing techniques. One thing I think really helps for me. Now I've never had a full-on anxiety attack. I get moments where I become very anxious. If I hear something or see something that has triggered my PTSD, I can feel it like coming on. So one of the things that I learned to do is boxed breathing. It's where you breathe in for a set count, you hold your breath for a set count, and then you exhale for a set count, hold for a set count. That's why they call it box breathing. So think of it like a square. So inhale for 3, hold for 3, breathe out for 3, and then hold for 3, and then just keep repeating that. So that is a technique that I have used that has helped me. It may not help everybody, but it's something that I use. So maybe that's something you can try as well. But if you are dealing with this on a regular basis, I sincerely hope that you are, that you have a therapist or, a mental health professional that's helping you deal with this. Marie lives in PA in the same funeral home or medical examiner. It just depends on the circumstances. What is the quick fix? Oh, we just did that one. Sorry. Let's see. Limitless, chug water, and play my favorite music. See, everybody has kind of their own thing. Uh, well, worst car accident I've ever seen. So Nate, I know. So look, as an EMT, I have seen. I mean, I've seen some pretty horrific things. Like I've seen things where I get dispatched, and as soon as I pull up on scene, I look at it and go, "Nothing I can do here. This is this is nothing I can do to help." So yeah, it's those are pretty horrific things. And typically we try not to ask EMTs, ER nurses, paramedics, police officers, firefighters, what's the worst thing you've ever seen? Because the worst thing we've ever seen is the thing that give us PTSD, the thing that give us nightmares, that give us anxiety when we see somebody that reminds us of somebody that we've lost. Motorcycles tend to be some of the pretty like gruesome injuries. Yes. Good morning, Ames. Welcome in. Good morning. It was funny, Ames. Total ADHD brain here on full display. Uh, that reminds me, I did something like that from Good Morning Vietnam to my kids. I was like, "Good morning," and they were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I got to show you that clip." And I showed them the clip, thinking it was hilarious. It's Robin Williams, right? The genie. I thought they looked at me like that's not funny at all, and I was like, "Dang it, I'm so old." That's right, two mics. This mic here is for this one. And this mic here, and Charlie's watched my lives, and he seemed all surprised that I had a red Rode mic. So mine, this just has the cover on it though, because I think it's black underneath. So if I take the cover off, so that's what it looks like underneath. But it doesn't sound bad with it. But I pop my peas and stuff like that, so I like to put that on there. I think it's an additional windscreen. Oh, I got it. Did I line it up right? I did line it up right by accident. My first choice is an ER nurse if we're ever trapped on an island after a shipwreck. I mean, we can improvise. We can do a lot with very little. And if you work rural ERs, then you are definitely got some skills. How do I know if the ER is for you? I think it really depends. Like, do you like chaos? Do you have ADHD? Do you dislike monotony? Then I think the ER would probably be a good place to start. Virginia, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Ames, what are you up to today? Clinicals, office days, mic days. Mm. So I do not recommend. I love cookie dough ice cream. I do not recommend cookie dough protein shakes. They are awful. But I bought them. I'm gonna choke them down, and then I'm going back to my chocolate. I don't know what I was thinking. What is today? Oh, it's graduation day. Graduation day. Man, that's early. Spy Hunt, thanks for the follow. Yeah, if you like Sky says, if you tend to lock in with chaos, ER is probably where you should go. Yeah, it's pretty gross. I totally misjudged that. I love cookie dough ice cream. It is my favorite ice cream, favorite Blizzard, and it is not a good shake. Protein shake is so bad. I just kind of chug it down and ugh. Me and Jason Hawes are twins. I have like two other twins on here. There is a chef who somebody tagged me in and he followed me. I followed him back. I mean, he's got like 300,000 followers. But yeah, we do resemble each other. It's uncanny. It really is. Both bald, same age, salt and pepper beard. He used to work for McDonald's. He was like one of the McDonald's like head chefs or whatever. And now he's independent and he doesn't rip them on, but he kind of like tells the truth about what goes on there. His take on the McDonald's CEO was hilarious. I wish I could remember. I cannot remember his name off the top of my head. You mix vanilla protein shake with zero sugar root beer. Oh, no, that sounds not too terrible. I don't like the zero sugar root beer. I don't like that. The only zero sugar thing I like is Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper Zero is the best one. Muscle spasms can travel through your entire body, hit my ankles, back, rib. Ouch. We have graduation every oh, you're on a quarter, not a semester. That makes more sense. Gotcha. So it's year round then, right? You just do like is like fiscal quarters, January, February, March. So I guess the end of March, so early April would be graduation for is this first quarter? Do you do it calendar quarters? At the VA, we do everything like the fiscal quarter. So like October 1st is the start of the new year. So we do those fiscal quarters. What are you talking about in directory? Hey man, oh here, hey man, where can you go without insurance if you believe you've been having early heart attack? You go to the nearest emergency department. You don't have to have insurance to be seen, and most hospitals are going to have some type of like hardship program. Um, so yeah, that's just go. You just need to go to the nearest ER. Even a freestanding ER can do the very basics. They can, you know, do the EKG, get blood work, get tests. They can give you the medications that are going to help it from getting worse. And then if you need to be transferred, they can transfer you. But if you're having chest pain, you should go to the nearest ER and get that checked out. Oh, go live Vegas in the house. Good morning. Yeah, I don't know. Like if I get my master's, I don't know if I'd go to the ceremony. Like I've been to two already. I don't know. I would just probably get my degree and be done with it. Ricky, I panic so hard before shifts. How do you deal with it? If you're panicking before every shift, one, I think you probably need to go see somebody. That is not a healthy way to, I mean, physically, that's not a healthy way to function. And two, it may be time to take a break from bedside nursing. I mean, that's going to take a toll on your physical health. So I don't get to that point. I took a job I left level one trauma, so I don't have that same level of stress that I did, during the pandemic. So yeah, my job. So my ER chief, I used to work with at another hospital, and we kind of both are on the same page. Like the worst day at my job now doesn't even hit the top 100 worst days at the other hospitals I worked at. It is not that bad where I work. Now it's not a level. We're not a trauma center, and that takes a lot of that anxiety away. Plus, we have really good nurse to patient ratios, so I don't have to worry about that either. The Megan Marshall, good morning, welcome in. Yeah, like Sky says, like dead ass go now, bro. Or Bud. See, I hear Bud, and I think Canada. Are you from Canada, Bud? What you doing there, Bud? Do I like peds? I like kids. I've got kids. I think kids are great. I don't like sick kids because I don't do good with sick kids. I'm too emotional. Like I can put myself in the parent's position, and that's really hard for me. It's like it takes its toll. I can get through the day. I can do all the things I need to do without being emotional. But when I leave work, I'll like just break down as I think about those parents and the awful news that they get and the long road ahead that they have. And then I put myself in that position. I worry about my kids, and my brain just can't shut off like that. Like I can't separate that out. I don't know how pediatric nurses do it, but God bless y'all. That is not for me. Same with psych. Like I've been there. I've had that. I have like honestly, I've been TDO'd like 25 years ago. I was in a very, very bad dark place. And yeah. So I've been to that side of things, and I'm good now. Like I've been good for like ever since that time. That was like my breaking point. And ever since then I've been fine. But I have a hard time doing that on a everyday basis. Like my psych rotation was pretty rough. Because you see people your age and you're like, holy crap, I've been there. You are me. Like that was me 25 years ago or whatever it was. So yeah. Ames, thanks for sharing out the live. I appreciate that. Oh, my posture is terrible. I gotta sit up. I think it's the mics. I gotta bring the mics up because if I put the mics down, I will lean forward. So I need to put the mics up here. You ever seen somebody with like severe kyphosis? They got that humpback, and like you see them and you immediately like sit up and put your chest out straight. What's up, Judd? Welcome in. Good morning. Amanda Gilbert, adult psych here. God bless you. Now I'll get psych patients in the ER, but that's like one. I'll get like one, and then I'm cool. Like I can deal with that. I don't know if I've rotated around where I've had multiple patients, and it's a lot. Kai is a peds ED here. Kids bounce back faster, and I can handle a whine. It's not the whininess that bothers me. It's when they're sick. It's like when like I've taken care of like some really bad peds trauma, and some of it was intentional, and that stuff gets to me. Like that's what gets to me. The taking care of the sick kid is not the part that bothers me. Like if they've got the flu, if they've got something else that we can fix, I'm all for that. It's the bad things that happen to kids. That's what I can't handle. Yeah, whether it's bad upbringings, whether it's like bullying events or something sometimes it's their own siblings and it's just oh god, it breaks your heart. Is 26 too late for nursing school? Bro, I was 38 when I went to nursing school. There are people in their 50s in nursing school. It's not too late. You're still young. Get started now and you actually be able to retire on time, like before 60 or like before 62. I'm on, like, the 64 or 65. I should be able to retire at 65. We'll see. Who knows? You got a 65-year-old nur there's a I just saw a story. There's a 72-year-old woman who just matched residency to become a doctor. So, is it too late? Heck no. Amanda Donnell, good morning. Welcome in. How cool is that? 72. Like, I don't wanna be working at 72. I mean, I like nursing. I wanna be on, like, a porch swing somewhere in a mountain cabin, uh, drinking something. Is it stupid I wanna go to the ER for anxiety? If you feel like it's affecting if you can't get under control, no. I mean, anxiety is a mental health condition, which is also a medical condition. We can treat that. We have medications that we can help with. My grandpa went from an airplane engine mechanic in Brazil to moving out here at 45 and becoming LPN at 50. That's great. Actually, there's I actually one of my mutuals is in school now and is currently an aircraft mechanic, but is in school for to become a healthcare professional. Ames, I love that. That was the most 26-year-old thing I've ever heard. You're young, friend. Gosh, 26? Oh, I was so young and dumb at 26. I didn't It's amazing I survived my 20s. Like, literally amazed I survived my 20s. Good morning, love bug. Welcome in. Do me a favor, y'all. Don't forget to tap that screen. Also, I haven't had any Australians check in. Where are my Aussies? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Normally, we get the Australian folks in here because they're winding down. It's either like 9:30 or 8:30 their time, PM. See, like, I feel like that girl in the video where she's trying to eat something, and the mom's like, "Is it good?" And she's like, "Mhm." That's how I feel choking this thing down. Amanda Donnell, thank you for sharing out the live. So, Amanda, my guess would be either getting kids ready for school or waiting for the shuttle. That's usually when Amanda comes in at this time of day. It's either getting kids off to school or waiting for the shuttle. Thank Carol. Thank you for the finger hearts. I appreciate that. It's the shuttle. That means she's got to work today. Womp womp womp. Oh, somewhere I got a sad trombone. We got to get the sad trombone up here. There it is. I got to do better with my sound effects. I paid a lot of money for this board, and I don't utilize it like I should. It'd help if I had a producer. When I was in radio, I had a producer. They did all the funny stuff, most of it. I did all the talking. Candlebox. Anybody remember Candlebox? I think they're a greatly underrated band of the grunge era. Sky, silver lining of getting brain cancer, no work right now. Oh, like I want to laugh, but I also that's sad. But I'm glad that you find some silver linings. I mean, I don't want to ask too many questions, but is this a treatable thing? Like, are we going to be able to treat this? I hope the prognosis is good. I lost my favorite aunt. Don't oh, it's gonna make me cry. I lost my favorite aunt to glioblastoma, and then my dad's wife passed away 4 years ago of glioblastoma. So, like, ooh, heavy heart when it comes to that stuff. Amanda says, "Hire me." Yeah, you just gotta apply, to my Uncle Sam, and he's pretty slow, but the benefits are great. I cannot complain. I will know better after Tuesday. Well, I'll be thinking about you. I wish you all the best. I hope it's good news. Um, we just recently in the ER had a patient come in with like in their 30s, had a migraine, and then started having some visual changes. So did a CT scan, golf ball size, and don't know what the prognosis is. Got to see a neurologist to determine. I don't know if they have to do a biopsy or what, but they got to figure out if it's treatable or not. But Emory has the best neuro team, so in good hands. Good. I'm glad. I am glad that is the case. Oh, I thought it was an ear infection. Yeah, they're like vague symptoms that you probably think are, just mundane, migraine, headache. Aries, thank you for the daily heart me. I appreciate that. So, I went a little earlier this morning because we are going out of town for the weekend, and we're gonna go see my best friend and his family. They used to live here, but they moved away like in 2011. But we still keep in touch. Try to go visit a couple times a year. Um, so we're gonna go out there. Hadn't seen it. It hasn't been quite a year, but it's been almost a year. So it'll be good to see them again. No, we went there this past summer. So they've got kids about the same age. So the kids get along good. They're friends. Hello, my fellow living male sapien. Yes, it'd be weird if I was not living. I would imagine I've a lot more viewers right now. The first zombie live stream. How cool would that be? Not for me, it would not. I don't know. Do you eat? If you're a zombie, I guess you have to eat brains, right? I don't know. I mean, I can barely choke this thing down. I can't imagine eating brains. That's like 12. It's like 11 fluid ounces. That is the most 11 ounces I've ever had to choke down. And I'm only like halfway through. If that was a cup of water, I'd have chugged it down in like 2 seconds or even coffee. Raina Napier Rouse, welcome in. You're not any relation to Josh, are you? Yeah, heavy on the protein drinks. Heavy on protein drinks, barely can put it down. Nope, no relation to Josh. Okay. I mean, there are some Napiers near where I live, so. As a former ballerina, we used to fill up on watered chia seeds. Why watered chia seeds? What's the, is there a health benefit to that? Like, why that? Does it fill you up, make you feel full? Is that to keep your weight down? Like, because I know that you guys are supposed to they want you, like, under a certain weight. Oh, you use chia seeds too, like, low calories and filling. Okay, gotcha. So it kinda gives you that full filling? I use weigh-ins. That's oh, see, like, weights is a touchy subject for me. Like, I definitely didn't have to do that. Mine was I would have to go back and forth. So between football, I would have to gain weight to play my position because during baseball season, I would have to lose weight because my knees could not take I was a catcher. My knees could not take that extra weight, but I needed the extra weight for leverage when I played football. So like I kept having to do this as soon as football was over, I was cutting weight. Like I had to like lose weight to get back down to a size where I could run efficiently and not destroy my knees. And I ended up destroying my knees anyway. So now I've got 2 bad knees, but having lost weight, it does help. And actually activity helps, like, doing squats actually does help. They still make god awful noises, but it doesn't hurt like it used to. And I've seen the orthopedics, they've talked to me about options, but there is a surgery they can do for it. It's patellar chondromalacia. So, like, basically the back of my patellar bone on both knees is, like, really, really rough, and so that when I squat down or bend my knees, it makes this really awful crunching sound, And the heavier I am, it actually can get like, it can be painful sometimes. And my right knee locks up. Like, sometimes it'll get stuck, and I'll have to, like, lay down and, like, try and get my knee unlocked. But having lost weight, that doesn't happen as often. I'm not sure what the physics is of that. Yeah, some people on peptides get kidney problems. I mean, there's always risk involved, and it depends on which ones you're taking. Kick it out unlocks mine. Yeah, like, so I have to, like, I can't do it from a seated position or squat. I have to, like, kinda, like, switch to the side and, like, kick my leg out. I'm currently in a LTAC for wound care. Any advice on getting optimal nutrition? Lots of protein. That's what you'll need. Lots of protein. Sweet Char 42, thank you for the follow. Cackling. Yeah, the image of me, it's probably pretty funny. Like, I get down and I get stuck, and then I kinda, like, gotta lean, it's usually the right knee, so I gotta lean to the left and try and slide that knee up to the side. And, like, going up the steps, like, my wife does not wanna be near me when I go up steps because she can't take the cracking of my knees. Just going up steps, they make these sounds. I'll try and get it on video. I'll get, like, my Rode wireless mic, and I'll try and get my knees crunching. But it's funny because, like, my orthopedic doctor actually works where I work now, and he doesn't remember me, but because I saw his PA mostly, and his PA was really good. Stayed up to watch The Pit last night and fell asleep anyway. Yeah, that's why I don't even try. Thursday nights, I don't even try to stay up and watch it because I know I'm not gonna be able to. Oh, as a former ballerina, I can't even imagine, like, what your feet look like and your knees, and gosh, your back probably might have some issues, like, all the stuff y'all do. I don't like, I've seen for some reason, I get ballerinas on my feed. I think it's because I'm fascinated by like, how jacked up their feet are. Like, that's just like I don't know, it just seems so awful. Like, they'll show, like, their feet before the show, and then they'll show their feet after a performance, and you're just like, "Oh my gosh, that looks terrible." Ole Olsen, 56, 6'1", and have weighed 185 forever. That's pretty good weight. 6'1", 185. Like, I'm 6 foot 180, 182.6 this morning. Easiest way to add easiest way to add weight. You need to, I guess you would have to make sure you're maximizing your protein, because you need protein to build muscle. You got to stay hydrated, and maybe I don't know. It's easy to say get a personal trainer, but you just need to get a routine. There's no specific way to add muscle. There's some that say like minimal reps, high weight, more reps, low weight, but time under tension. If you want to build mass, then you're gonna have to find a program that's gonna help you do that. I don't lift weights to build mass. I'm trying to stay lean. So I've been to the point where I put on, like, I do mass, and that's usually when I did that. That was like when I was in my 20s. Um, I was doing low reps, but like high weights. So max reps. Did you ever, but a lot's changed in like 25 years, I think. The science is better now. Do you ever encounter a stoma bag that won't hold waste? No. I mean, I'm sure it happens, but we typically have like ostomy or wound care that handles that in the emergency department. It's not something I've seen a lot of. I've replaced a few in my career, but not a lot. Every time I kind of fumble my way through it, and I actually rely on the patient. Say, "Hey, I don't you do this like every day. I don't do this every day. Why don't you walk me through it and we'll do this together?" Your patients can often be the best source of information. So utilize them. A stealth belt. See, I assume a stealth belt is what you use to help kind of hide it. Sky lost 100-ish or so pounds last year, thinking my workout routine was finally doing it. It was not. So, like, when they're like, "Oh, are you losing weight on purpose?" You're like, "Yeah, I've been working really hard." I guess that's another added benefit, if there is such a thing as a benefit to a brain tumor. You were so proud. Oh, and then they just pulled the rug out like Lucy pulling the football away from Charlie Brown. So are leaking ostomy bags, is that, like, pretty common? I felt like those bags were supposed to be, like, pretty well made. So what would cause them to leak? I'm just curious. Cynthia, the coffee tastes so much better. I could do 11 ounces of coffee in no time flat. I'm still not even through this protein shake. So I will not do any live streams this weekend because 'cause I'll be out of town. We're just doing, like, a couple nights. We'll be back early Sunday afternoon. And before anybody people are like, "Oh, don't tell people out of town and whatever." Yeah, my house has, like, security cameras everywhere. It's armed. I have a dog, and my father-in-law lives across the street and is taking care of the dog. So and he's a ex-police officer. I feel safe. Sometimes I mix in my coffee and protein shakes. So, when I have a good protein shake, I'll throw it in my, Vitamix blender, and I'll throw in, like, a banana, an apple, whatever other fruits I have laying around. I'll throw that in there and blend it up. Then I get my fiber, plus I get my protein. And with a Vitamix, oh my gosh, you can throw in, like, the whole apple. Like, you don't have to cut the stem out. You don't have I mean, it's just all of it. Like strawberries, don't have to, like, cut the leaves off of it, just throw it in there. Now the banana I do peel. You could put the peel in there, but it would taste awful. And never add kale. Kale just destroys all shakes. Ain't nothing happening over there to that man's house. No. Yeah, yeah, so we're good. Like, good, good. I mean, nobody can get close to my house without me knowing about it. The real question is, and I'm not gonna answer it, but people will say, "Why do you have so much security?" And that's a really good question, and we're gonna just leave it like that. And my dog, like, he's a sweet dog if you know him, but if you don't know him and he doesn't know you, I would steer clear, and he will let you know because he will go crazy. Yeah, that's right. Have you seen The World lately? Exactly. Oh, man, heavy on the Nirvana today. I'm digging that. Oh, so I got my official scrubs in for my clinicals. Um, and man, I was floored. So I still have my scrub top from as a student, which we were required to buy, and it was so generic. It was Cherokee scrubs, not knocking Cherokee, they're affordable, which was good, but the embroidery was just so awful and bland, and you just look ridiculous. Their scrub tops now are Landau scrubs, which I've never owned, but now that I see it, I'm like, "These are pretty nice." This is like, 10 times better than the Cherokee scrubs I had, and then the embroidery is, like, full color, and it is beautiful, and it's better than any other hospital scrub I've ever seen, and I just think you guys are you have no idea what it was like to roll into a clinical with this cheesy embroidery on there. So, yeah, now I look all official. Let's see. Oops, I stole my first pair of scrubs from Walmart as a poor college kid. Shh. Got a criminal in here. I sound like a great nurse. I don't know if I'm a great nurse. I am a compassionate nurse. I love to learn. I like to think I'm a good nurse. But I'm always trying to get better. Braden, I feel like some nurses get offended when I try to kindly educate them on my spina bifida. I know very little about spina bifida. If I learn it, I don't see it, so I forget it. If I don't do it on a daily basis, so yeah, I don't educate me. Like I don't know. So anytime I get a patient who has like a chronic condition and I'm trying to do something to help them, I'm going to be like, look, you know more about this than I do. I remember learning that in nursing school. They actually said, and that was one of the great things they taught us was like, your patients are often going to be the expert on their disease. Ask them about it. They're going to educate you on it. And I've taken that with me and it does. It really helps. Tracy, my scrubs at nursing school were white. That is awful. That and white shoes. Why? Why would you make them wear white? The thought of wearing white scrubs gives me such anxiety. Like I mean, like, what's the over under on like how many minutes before you get something on it? Like, I'd say like 38 minutes. No more. It's under 38 minutes. You're gonna get something on it. I mean, you lean up against the nursing desk, right? The counter, you're gonna probably get something on there. And then probably like give you marks off your clinical if you got something on it. Oh, you have dirty scrubs. You can't do that. What inspired me to become a nurse? I was burned out and did not feel that what I was doing was contributing to society. Like, I didn't feel like I was actually doing anything good for my community. So, I had a background in fire and rescue, and so my wife helped me decide to do nursing school, and I did, and I graduated 10 years ago. I've been a nurse for 10 years. That's hard to believe. In Canada in the early '80s, I looked like the good humor man. Oh, were they all white? I got written up for not wearing a bra when I indeed always did. What? How is that a thing? Emma Grace, love being a nurse, 27 years, best career. That's awesome. Tom Babot, Ba- Babot? Do I do I believe in God? I do not. No. 11 in June for me, so almost 11 years. So a year ahead of me. Not even joking. I was shooketh. Sky, I feel like we'd be good friends. The way you talk is like sounds like how I talk. Yeah, that's wild. I got sent home for wearing red underwear under my summer weight whites. I don't know what summer weight means. That means lightweight, I guess, like really lightweight. So I guess you could see the red underwear through the whites. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. I tend to like gravitate towards dark colors. Like I like the black, the navy. I do have gray, but every time I've got the royal blue, which people are like, oh, the royal blue looks good, and I don't know. I just like the dark colors. I don't know. Maybe I was like emo in a previous life. Straight to jail. The head nurse was a nun and embarrassed. Well, you know what? I think that would have been worth it for me to embarrass the head nurse. That sounds like something I would have done. Does this make you uncomfortable? Royal blue was ours and then gray. I I've never worked at a hospital where you had to wear certain color scrubs based on whatever your specialty was. Now, when I started at UVA, they had just gotten rid of that. At one point, RNs had to wear navy, and then techs had to wear a different color, respiratory had to wear a different color, and then literally like the week I started, they had just changed that rule. So I was able to, but I had already bought because when I got hired, I was told I had to have navy. So I bought like 4 pairs of Carhartt navy scrubs and had them embroidered, which was kind of cool. And I still have them today. My scrubs are I don't the newest pair of scrubs I have is like 6 years old. They just last. My Carhartts last forever. Now, I'll be curious because I had to order it's weird. So the university where I am a clinical instructor, you can order the scrub top and a scrub jacket, which is actually really nice. I got one of each, but you can't order the pants. You gotta order the pants from, like, anywhere else. So I got, Scrubs& and Beyond, I think is where I got it from. I got a pair of Landau. This will be my first pair of joggers. Uh, I feel like everybody that I've seen was like, "You know what? Those don't look too bad." So it'll be my first pair of joggers, um, and they match the color. True navy is the color, so we'll see. I mean, I wear jogger like joggers, like sweatpant joggers. Best hospital experience I've ever had. All the nurses in the med surg unit at IU Methodist Hospital deserve Daisy Awards. I was just talking about that with somebody, how ER nurses rarely get Daisy Award nominations. It always seems to be like med surg nurses. And it's because they spend more time with the patients. You know, they have them for a couple days or Nor. Wait, Sky, are you from Australia? Oh, you don't like joggers? I've never worn them. I mean, I wear sweatpant joggers, so like I'm okay with that. It'll be interesting to see how they work. I mean, I've lost a lot of weight, so maybe it's not gonna look terrible. I don't know. You're from Atlanta. Oh, you unfortunately dated. Why you say unfortunately? Like, what was bad about it? Was it just the person, or was it because they were Australian? Do you hate when the lab calls you and says your labs are hemolyzed? I used to get pretty frustrated with that because it was never really like a really good rationale. And then I started following and watching the vascular guy, who was a guest on the podcast last fall. And his explanations of why things are hemolyzed made a lot more sense to me. So I kind of take back some of the mean things I've thought or said about lab and realize that sometimes it is probably just how we're drawing the labs up. Oh, he just dated everyone else too? Okay. Yeah. If that's not the agreement that was set forth early in the relationship, I could see where that would be a problem. I nominated some ER nurses in the other day. I had to go back there. Oh, gotcha. Well, I appreciate you nominating some ER nurses, but again, that's gonna come down to management. Management typically doesn't really like the ER because we're not really good listeners. And so, I've only known one ER nurse to get, a Daisy Award. I know there are others, but personally, I've only known one that got it as an ER nurse. I do work with nurses who got them when they used to work on the floor, but not in the ER. One day I shall burn that entire island down. That's a big island. I mean, they get so many wildfires now, they may beat you to it. Mother Nature may beat you to it. Mandy Mata, a good morning from Montana. Mandy Mata from Montana. I like the alliteration. User random string of numbers says I'm bald. Yes, brilliant observation. Damn it, Patrick. I haven't even got to visit there yet. An ER nurse put an incredible wet to dry dressing on my wound on the fly. Was very. Oh, I bet they had previous experience. I haven't done a wet to dry in a long time. I used to do them pretty regularly in the ICU, but not as an ER nurse. And if I'm doing it, it's going to be pretty. It's going to be probably pretty rough. Soup. With nurse, us lab techs don't want to call you as much as you don't want to call us. That's right, because you're like, oh god, they're gonna hate me for this. They're gonna blame us. But no, having listened to the vascular guy, and if you're a nurse and you don't follow the vascular guy, you really should. He does some great educational stuff, and I love that he'll just say, "Hey, I didn't know this until like 2 years ago," and he'll share with you what he learns. And so there's not this air of like he's known it all along. You know, he's gonna full disclosure tell you, nope, I learned this 2 years ago. Feel like I should have known it longer, but I didn't. I apologize, but I have a lot of nurses in my family, and I don't understand how they deal with death. Uh, I I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I don't know how we do. M the dermal. Oh, I can't see your whole name, but M the dermal. Just call you Ed. Ed followed. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Got Soundgarden in the background. Oh, Chris Cornell. Pipes of a generation. He was really underrated. I think people didn't really appreciate him until he was gone, and which is the case with a lot of things, right? You don't appreciate it until you don't have it anymore, but at least we still have his music. Because my gosh, his range. Oh, yeah. Love Soundgarden. I mean, anywhere, any band he's been with. So like Audio Slave, he had Audio Slave, which is just like Chris Cornell. I'm still like, that's basically Soundgarden, right? It's the singer that makes it. My ER nurse didn't put my IV in my AC because I asked him not to. Right. Oh yeah. Oh, I always give patients the choice, right? I'll say, hey, look, I'm gonna look, but do you have a preference on where I get this? And it depends because if they need a CT with contrast, that limits my options as to what I can get. So I will factor that into the conversation to have with the patient. But if I'm not anticipating a CT, then I will be like, "Hey, you tell me what the best place is and what's gonna be the most comfortable for you, and I will make every effort to do that." Yeah, I just don't go where I think the best one is. I do take their input into account. I don't know what the question was. Oh, therapy to how do we deal with death? Yeah, therapy, a good therapist helps. And sometimes, the first therapist you get is not the right therapist, so sometimes you gotta change. It is not a judgment on them as a therapist. It's just that they're people and you're people, and sometimes you gotta find the right people to help you through your people issues. And it's not a judgment on them or you. It's just sometimes you gotta it's like finding the right doctor. Sometimes you get a primary care doctor that you don't mesh with, and so you don't feel comfortable, so you just gotta find somebody that's gonna make you feel comfortable. Yeah, that's right. Just him under different lights, but it's the same voice. I mean, a bassist is a bassist. I know it's not true, but also contrast for making me wanna Oh my god, you're hilarious. Yes, I've had CT with contrast and, and they tell you, "Look, you're gonna feel warm all over, and you're gonna feel like you have to pee." That's what they told me, "You'll feel like you have to pee." They pushed that contrast, and I feel it working through, and I was like, "Yeah, I think I just peed." And they're like, "You didn't pee?" I was like, "No, I'm pretty sure I did." Like, it's really warm and feels wet down there, and they're like there's this pause. I guess they're looking at, "No, you didn't. You're okay." I'm like, "All right. Don't listen to me. I'm the only one here peeing myself." And then, like, a couple seconds later, I was like, "Okay, I'm good. I didn't pee myself." I think that's the only time I've ever had it. Nope. No, I've had it twice. I had a CTA, and I think they pushed contrast, and that's when I had COVID pneumonia, and then I wasn't really worried about it then because I was, like, really sick, and then when I had acute appendicitis, then they pushed the contrast, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I think I peed myself." Let's see. Yeah, so we'll go for, like, an hour, hour and 15, so we'll go to, like, 7:30, and then our plan is to try and get out the door no later than 8:30. It just depends on how early we can get the kids up. But I'm already packed, like, we've already packed. We're ready to go. It's just a matter of getting the kids up and when they're gonna wanna go. So if they poke their head in and be like, "Hey, we're ready to roll," I'll probably jump off here so we can get on the road, but I doubt that. Oh, yeah. So, Sky, I had, like, the OG. In fact, what is today, the 3rd? Either today or tomorrow will be the 6-year anniversary of the hospital calling me because I the end of March 2020, I was notified by the ER manager that a patient that I cared for was now in the ICU with COVID. And I had taken care of that patient like 3 days. They had been in the hospital like 3 days in a week, and we didn't know what it was because COVID really hadn't reached this part of the country yet. We hadn't thought, but this person had traveled and came back and brought it with them, and it was now spreading. I got it. And well, it was like April 3rd or 4th is when they called me and said, your test was positive because I started having like these mild symptoms, and then it took like a couple days. They had to like literally take the sample to another hospital that could test it because not everybody had testing equipment. And then the symptoms just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I ended up like on oxygen and fatigue and double pneumonia with an oxygen saturation of 88, couldn't get it higher than 88. So yeah, it got real bad for a while. I didn't see my family for like 6 weeks, at least 6 weeks, because I was so sick. And eventually, I mean, I got better. It took me a couple years to get back to normal. I had a lot of, like, long symptoms that like, fatigue was awful. Like, I was so tired all the time for, like, a year, and it took about 2 years to get back to normal. I learned this, oxygen concentrators are really loud. Like, I had to park that thing outside of the room and close the door because I could not sleep. Like, I couldn't sleep anyway. Um, yeah, I'm really glad I wasn't. They wanted me to come into the hospital, and I was like, "Heck no, I'm not coming in. Like, you just give me home oxygen, bring it here." Like, I didn't wanna come in and get my coworkers sick. I was like, "I know what you're gonna do." I said, "Look, if it gets really bad and I can't get oxygen and my SpO2 won't go up with the oxygen, then I will call and I will come in, but I'm gonna try and ride it out here." And they would call my attending ER docs would call me every morning, to make sure I was okay, and if I couldn't answer the phone, because like, there were times I went to the bathroom and, like, I was so tired, I just had to lay on the floor. Yeah, because I could not get back. I was that fatigued, and I'm not even, like, exaggerating. Like, getting to the bathroom, I was, like, literally holding on to things just to get to the bathroom, and then when I was done, I just could not get back. I would just lay on the floor until I could get enough energy. Uh Let's see. Is the Pit TV show realistic-ish? I like how you add the ish. Yes, it is realistic-ish. It's the most realistic portrayal of a level 1 trauma center emergency department that you will find on TV anywhere at any time in television history. Is it 100% accurate? No. They take dramatic license with some things. There's definitely some procedures that occur that you're like, "Ah, I don't think we would really ever do that." But it makes for good TV sometimes, but mostly it's pretty accurate. Yes, I have gotten all of the available, preventative jabs. So, yes. Alright, so Tom, I have a rule in my lives. You can ask a question, like, twice. If you ask it more than that, like, I'm gonna put you on notice. Now, sometimes it's a glitch in the system, and I give you some grace for that. But repetitive questions, especially when it's not that busy in here, like if the comments are flowing, sometimes the comments are coming so fast I can't keep up. Today is a little more subdued, and that's cool. But yeah, don't do that. Plus, get dinged for not moderating. Yeah, they're real finicky about stuff like that. Like if other people post like things they don't like, they punish the creator. No, it's alright, he's cool, yeah, yeah, Holly's a moderator, and she has the power to mute and ban, so but Tom's apologized, we'll give him a pass this time, but sometimes it's a glitch in the system, like, I've posted comments and it'll just keep reposting it, so I don't know. That's just a glitch in the system, and in those cases, I have to, like, literally refresh the page in order for it to stop doing that. Would an attending have done that eye procedure, like, in the pit? Oh, when they had the can was it the lateral canthotomy? Was that the one? Had, like, the buildup of pressure? Yes, that is I mean, that is a procedure they can do in the ER. That is real. Yeah. Yeah, I try my best. Now, there are sometimes, like, like, earlier this week where we had, like, 120 people in here, and I mean, it was literally so many comments. I would answer, like, 2 questions, and then I would have, like, 30 new comments, and it's not always possible for me to catch up, but today is a pretty chill, like, I should be able to get to pretty much everything. That was from season 1. Yeah, I think it's called a lateral canthotomy, if I remember correctly, and I feel like, yes, would do that but if it's an emergency, I feel like that's a real thing. Now, I'm sure there are ophthalmologists or eye surgeons that would be like, "Oh my gosh, you should never do that in the ER." I'm like, "Yeah, there's a lot of things we probably shouldn't do in the ER, but that's why it's an ER, emergency room. We don't always have time." I did not watch last night's episode. I mean, I've seen clips, so I'm not really concerned about spoiler alerts. That's right. It's an ER. Like we're gonna do things a little different. And Elisa, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Oh, somebody asked when I normally live stream. My normal live streams are most weekday mornings around 6:30. Sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little later. It really kind of depends on how much sleep I got. If I didn't have a good night's sleep, I might sleep in a little bit. Black Lab Mom, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. That's right. That's why specialist follow-ups exist. Yep. Follow up with neurology, follow up with cardiology. I've heard that you did what? Yeah, I know, right? And, like, when you get to do something that you're not used to doing or that you don't see that often, you get really excited and you can't wait to share that with somebody. You're never gonna guess what we did today. I remember the first time I sent somebody down the K-hole, like, that was funny. I mean, not for them, but it was funny for me. Like, finding the right dose of the K-hole med is a challenge, and when they go down this K-hole, a lot of times they don't like it. It is like, I've never had it happen to me, but I've heard lots of patients describe it, and it's not like, they don't have, like, a very like, a accurate description, like, they're not, like, telling you what it was. They just go the common response is, "I don't know where you sent me, but I don't ever wanna go there again." And that's, like, almost verbatim what they tell you, and they did not like that. Nurse Boss, welcome in. Good morning. K-hole. So there's a medication called, oh, it'll probably get me in trouble. Ketamine. Ketamine is a medication that has a lot of different applications. Oh, I got one of these notifications. If my audio changes, Holly will let me know and I can fix it real quick. Um, so yeah, it can cause you to disassociate. We can use it for a lot of things. We can use it to do awake intubations. We can use it to kind of sedate somebody to pop a shoulder back in. We can use it to treat psychiatric emergencies. So it really depends on finding the right dose. And they've got guidelines for that, but everybody's kind of a little bit different. So if you don't hit that just right, you can send them to this place called the K-hole. It's where they disassociate to the point that they experience weird things and they don't like it and it's awful and they don't ever want to do that again. Nurse Boss, thanks for the daily heart me. I appreciate it. Good to see you again. How's your son doing? Someone who has been chronically ill for 30 years. I've never seen an ER. Oh gosh, I worked at an ER like that. Yeah, I worked at an ER like that. A level one trauma center. Oh yes, absolutely. Go to inner city like Chicago because this is inner city. This is like in inner city um, Pittsburgh. So a very big city, very busy, lots of people, probably a lot of like underserved, underprivileged communities. But you go to Atlanta, LA, Chicago, you want look, go watch there's a documentary called Code Black. It's a documentary. It's not a drama. The TV show Code Black is based on that, loosely based on that. Go watch that documentary. It'll make the pit look um like an organization of OCD people. It'll make it look so neat and organized, but Code Black will give you an accurate representation of what an inner city emergency department is going to look like. And it is like a war zone. Like, I'm no joke. Go watch it. ATL. I worked with a ER doc who spent the majority of his career in an inner city Atlanta ER. And that dude was gangster. Like nothing phased that man. I saw him do stuff that I was just like, "You did what?" Like, and you made it look so easy, and he's done it like 1,000 times. So whenever he walked in and I saw him as the attending, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a good shift." Like, there's literally nothing that can come through that door that we can't handle. It's probably Grady. Yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but yeah. He called it the Gun and Knife Club is what he called it. In Peoria, Illinois, we have OSF St. Francis Level 1 Trauma Center. Yep. Yeah, Code Black, the documentary is really good. I've not watched any of the TV show. I can't watch any of those type of TV shows, like the overly dramatic Chicago Med and The Resident and all because all that's, like, just ridiculous. None of that is real. That's all just TV drama, blah, blah, blah. But Code Black, the documentary, whoo, in the pit, Pit's the closest you're gonna get. Well, but I think what the pit is trying to I agree. Yes, I think what the pit is trying to do is no is like bring awareness to that should be the norm. But I feel like also they've missed an opportunity. They did deal with it a little bit with the sickle cell crisis patient, the woman who was in sickle cell crisis. The paramedics were the bad guys in that case, right? They were not appropriately medicating that patient because they thought she was seeking. But oftentimes it's going to be the ER providers that are the ones that are going to withhold. But there are those that are educated and understand that and will medicate appropriately. But you're right. I feel like we've missed an opportunity to talk about the lack of adequate pain management. Christopher from the Blakery content. Good morning, sir. Bro, you changed your settings. Like I can't tag you in anything anymore. Like it'll say like it'll just have you dimmed and it say like can't because of privacy settings. So I'm bummed, dude. Like there's so many posts I wanted to tag you on for your input. Oh, you fixed it? Oh, okay, good. Because there was like a couple posts like, "Oh, I gotta tag you on this," and then it like wouldn't let me, and I was like, "Dang it!" And I was like, "Maybe he unfollowed me," so I had to go check. I was like, "No, he still follows me." Ah, coffee. You like my coffee mug? It's actually not mine. It's one of my kids, but we're at that point now where we just use everybody's, whatever one's available. Yes, Nurse Boss, I agree. I feel like we've and, I feel like this is the doing of the pharmaceutical companies, right? The ones that added, that pushed to add pain as the whatever, the 5th or 6th vital sign, and they pushed medicating people to the point we created this opioid epidemic, and then now we've swung so far to the other side that we are not treating pain appropriately because all the physicians, and I say we, I mean as healthcare professionals, obviously I can't prescribe. I'm a nurse. But the doctors are so terrified of liability and, getting sued and, you know, feeding a habit that I think a lot of physicians are scared to medicate now. And that's unfortunate because we got people in legitimate pain crises that are not being treated. I don't know what the answer is. As a nurse, all I can do is advocate. And sometimes that means like, hey, I know you got concerns, but I I genuinely feel like this is a legitimate issue here, and I feel like we need to address it. And sometimes that means like, hey, can we just start small? Like, can we do like a half milligram? I'm not a big fan of doing half milligram of Dilaudid. I don't think that's effective for unless you're like a 90-pound little meemaw. Most people 1 milligram is not going to do a whole lot for them, you know. And the other thing is like, morphine, like we don't dose that like the rest of the world. If you're like other countries, they use weight-based morphine dosing, and we do not do that. I asked one of my ER docs, like, "Why is that? Why are we?" And he goes, "Because we're scared. We're scared to give higher doses than like 4 milligrams." Now, I have worked with a couple doctors that will dose appropriately, but most of them are going to be like no higher than 4. And in reality, a lot of countries use weight-based dosing for that, and it's often more than 4. How often do intubated patients sit in the ER for hours before being moved to surgery or ICU? Not not long. We don't want them there. Once they're intubated, the ER is not the place for them. We can care for them, but once you're intubated in an ICU, at least in my experience as an ICU nurse, once I had an intubated patient, that was a one-to-one. Like my hospital, that was one-to-one. If you had another patient, that patient went to another nurse, you were responsible for that one-to-one vent. Yeah, they have 4 milligrams of morphine for everybody. I mean, at least they're doing that, right? Piper Shelley, I'm 8 to 9 months in as a new ER nurse. That's awesome, and I feel stupid and annoying the docs all the time. That's normal. I mean, all new grads are gonna feel that way. You're learning. It's good to ask questions. If they feel annoyed, that's their problem. I would rather you ask questions than not ask questions and then end up hurting a patient, losing your license, getting in trouble. So I say ask all the questions. I kept notebooks, like 5x7 spiral bound notebooks. I kept those and wrote down all the things I needed to learn. It helped reinforce that knowledge. And I think you're probably doing fine. You're doing better than you think. Ask the questions. And don't let that discourage you from asking questions in the future, because when you stop asking questions is when I think you start to become an unsafe nurse. Black Lab Moms, my spouse is a 15-year-old RN right now working. Is it a 15-year-old right now or 15 years as an RN? A spouse, I would assume 15-year-old, 15 years in nursing? He's an RN. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to decipher that. I was just curious because I know staffing is a problem. Oh, wait, I missed the question. Hang on, Braden. Let me go back. How often gotcha, intubated patients for hours? Yeah, typically they're gonna try and get them upstairs. If there's no beds though, they usually what they'll do is they'll move the least sickest patient out, try to move them into a step down unit, like a PCU, open up a bed for that vented patient. Sometimes if there is no room and they can't move anybody out, oftentimes they'll just try to bring in an ICU nurse to come work with that patient in the ER. But yeah, otherwise it's gonna be that ER nurse, which we will try to make a one-to-one if we can, staffing-wise, and then the RT will be down there to assist. But, you wanna see a ER doc hand off really fast, tube a patient, they're gonna be handing that off to, like, the ICU team as quick as they can. Most of them. Violent Vixen, thanks for the follow, appreciate that. If someone passes out in the waiting room, go straight to a bed, they're gonna go to a bed, it might be a hall bed, but yeah, they'll get evaluated a lot faster. I don't advocate nurses and docs are pretty good about sussing out fake fainting spells because we do get that because they know that if they faint that they're going to go back faster, but they're going to end up in a hall bed. How about the way Robbie came down on Dana when she gave the guy? Yeah, I you know I'm kind of with Robbie on this. Like I understand what she was doing. But that is like if that ever goes to court, like she's gonna lose that 100 out of 100 times. Like that is not justifiable. In a court of law, that's not justifiable. She was carrying around a controlled substance, was not a witnessed waste, and she administered it without a physician's order. And like 100%, if she goes to court for that, she's gonna lose her license or get suspended or something. Robbie was trying to protect that. And he said, "I'll write the order, like, but you need to protect your license." Like, what if something bad had happened to him? That would have come back on Dana. Now, would a jury see different as seeing like this is, like I could see an attorney making a case for nurses are the, 5 times more likely to be assaulted than any other healthcare professional. The young new grad was being choked out. Her life was in danger. Would a jury see different? Maybe. I mean, like, I could see that. I would be hard for me to pass judgment on her for saving a young person's life against somebody who had alcohol and drugs, right, in their system. But yeah, I mean, legally what she did was 100% illegal. Yes. I mean, it was. Do I fault her for it? Like, she did what she had to do to protect that person, her coworker, a new nurse. Like, I get that, but the way she went about it, she had time to yell for help. Help was on the way. I feel like, and honestly, those medications don't work that fast. Like, have you ever given an IM injection and like watched somebody just go down? No. Let's see. Trying to catch up here and I'm trying to decipher all the comments because like I'll say something and then like y'all leave a comment and then I move on like 2 topics and then I'm like reading your comment trying to like, oh, what part of the conversation were they talking about? Annalisa, we make it 1-to-1 when we can't move them. Yes, that's what we try to do too. If we intubate somebody in the ER, that nurse in the ER now is 1-to-1 until we can get them up, and then the other nurses will absorb their patients. Sometimes the charge nurse will just step in and take those patients if everybody else is like has too many. Well, I mean, I understand he is. He does have her back. He told her, he's like, look, I'm trying to protect you. Like you could lose your license over this. He says, I'll write the order, but like you need to talk to me, communicate with me. I I I also know Robbie is under a lot of stress and he's been coming down on a lot of people. So he's also at a breaking point between Langdon, between the new attending that's taking his place while he's gone. Like she's giving him grief, questioning his judgment. So yeah, he's under a lot of stress. And the season one, he was like the authority figure. He made the right decisions. You didn't really question much, but now we're seeing cracks in his armor where he isn't. You're like, well, wait a minute, I don't really agree with him on that. Like that's not right the way he handled that. So you're seeing that Robbie's human, right? And that he isn't always handling the situation the best that we think he should. Beck, I passed out from an overdose, self-induced, but really wasn't aware of anything until the ICU. Nurses are serious. Yes, ICU nurses are amazing. I was an ICU nurse to start my career, and I took care of a lot of folks in your situation. I went to the ER when my body decided to Windows restart. Oh, let's see here. Another notification. But no invitations to co-host because I learned how to turn that out thanks to our friend Ugh. UGH. Good morning, wise old man. Welcome in. Caught me to the tail end of the live. Yo, it's 7:30 already. I guess it's time for me to pop off here and go get ready to. I go get a shower, pack up the van. Yep. Make sure I have everything that I need for this little weekend getaway. It'd be good. I haven't seen my buddy in a long time. So we went to high school together, but we weren't really good friends in high school. We caught up again, gosh, almost 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago. Um, he was doing a video shoot at the company I was working for. Kinda looked at him like, "You look familiar." And he looked at my badge, he goes, "Did you go to like, did you go to this high school?" I was like, "Yeah, I did." And he goes, "Yeah, it's Josh." And I was like, "Oh, I'm Gary." He goes, "Yeah, I recognize you." So we caught up and, he didn't have any kids at that point. Him and his wife didn't have kids at that point. And then, I was with my first wife at the time, and then a couple like 2 years later, like, I separated from her. Um, Him and his wife started, like, trying to have kids, and now they've got 3 kids. One of them is, like, almost done with high school now. So that's kinda wild how long that has like, I guess, a junior, gonna be a junior this year. So anyway, and we've been friends ever since, and our families have gotten kids have gotten to know each other over the years. The 2 younger ones are pretty much the same age. So, Nurse Boss, thanks for stopping in. It's good to see you again. Hadn't seen you in a while. Hope everything's alright. Morning, Ellie. You caught us at the tail end. We went live a little bit earlier than normal, and we're going to get off a little bit earlier than normal because I've got a weekend trip planned. So I'm going to go see my best friend and catch up with him and his family. Take the kids so they can go play. So it'll be a good time. The pollen there is awful. Like literally, it's just the driveway is just yellow. So I got to load up on the Claritin this morning and just stay on it. Probably take some Benadryl to get me through the night. So all right. I think it's time for us to wrap it up here. Thank you all for another wonderful live. I appreciate it. It was a good conversation. We'll see you Monday morning, 6:30, bright and early. Y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe. As always, be kind to others, be kind to yourself, prioritize your mental health. I'm Gary, the ER nurse. We'll see you Monday morning. Have a great weekend.